Okay, so this is lecture 10, complex data types lecture, third part of the complex data types lectures. And we're going to talk about something called ArrayLists. And he says we're going to do a new tab. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to have this box again, but we're going to allow ourselves to have several customers in our program. It's kind of like in our database. Anyway, we're going to have several customers. Now here, you can see that the first try that he does doesn't really display the customers very interestingly here. So he says, wait, this doesn't quite work. And then he says, okay, now he's done it so that, I'm sorry, but here, he's added the new customers. So he's got Ren Huck and this person and their age and their emails. So he added them nicely, but they didn't show up very well here. So then he says, well, how can we fix this? And he figures out a way to fix it. He says he overrides a function that he used in this example, or that was used in this example, and he gets it to work. So now he gets it to show up like this. Now he wants to be able to delete an element, so he's going to create a button that's going to allow him to delete elements from the set. So the set will be displayed in here, and he wants to be able to delete one or more. In the process of doing that, he's going to have a display of a message box. He's going to teach us a little bit more about how to use message boxes. So like this question mark will appear there, as opposed to this or this or this. So these are icons that Visual Studio will allow, or I'm sorry, Visual VB.net will allow you to have on here. So he's just going to show us how to control this message box a little bit more. So anyway, we're going to this is going to say, do you really want to delete the customer? And then we have to decide what's going to happen when the user clicks this button, and also which buttons actually appear on the message box. So if you use OK, then you're just going to have this OK there. If you use something called OK cancel, you'll have both of these. If you have retry cancel, it also displays these two buttons. Yes, no will display yes and no, yes, no, cancel, and so on. And so he's going to teach us about that. And also which button is the default button. You know, if you hit enter, one of these will happen by default, right? So he teaches us how to make one of them the default button versus the other one. So the code we're actually going to use in the message box, remember it's going to be messagebox.show, and then we're going to put in please verify this. So that's going to be part of what we want to show up. And message box buttons is OK cancel. Message box icon is question, that gives us a question mark. Message box default button is button 1. So reviewing what's going to happen here, we click the delete button. Please select a customer will show up first if a customer hasn't been selected. So we'll have that. And then if a customer is selected, it'll just go directly to here, this message box. It'll say, do you really want to delete that person? And if you do, then we have to put in the code which will actually delete that customer. So that's kind of like deleting something from our database, but we don't really have a database here. But we're going to learn about a way to handle all of our customers in one kind of a list, actually, or just basically like an array. We're going to put all our customers into an array. Like the first element of our array is going to be our first customer, and the second element of our array is going to be our second customer, and so on. Anyway, so we're going to delete an element from our array, and that will delete one of the customers. Next, he's going to teach us how to display a selected customer. So if you click on this customer, what you want to show up is all of the all of the features of that customer, all the characteristics. So you want the name, the first name, the last name, the age, and this. So we have to add that in as well, to that functionality. So just by selecting this, we want this stuff to show up. So he's going to show us how to do that. Now we started out with 3 customers, but we didn't have a way actually to add a new customer. So now he's going to teach us how to add new customers. So we're going to add in a new button. So here's what's supposed to happen. We want to allow users to add new customers. Adding a new customer should add a new customer structure to our array. Actually, it's not called an array, it's called an array list, but we'll see that. But it's like an array. And then we want to add a string to the for the customer to our list box. We want that to show up in here. Then we need to add this button here. So in our GUI, we need to add functionality. I'm sorry, your new add functionality should be implemented by a new button called btn add. And then he says error control. Your program should refuse add requests. So you shouldn't be able to add somebody unless all of these boxes are filled, unless 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes are filled in. Email, age, first and last names are provided by the user. And he's saying you do it by a message box. And refuse to add also we want to refuse to add exact duplicate customers. Okay, so that's another part of the program we want to work. And define and use a custom is duplicate function. So you're going to define a function which is testing whether this customer is already in our array, or in our array list as it's called, and then use that is duplicate function to actually check to see if the customer is in our array, and then this should refuse to, or the code should then refuse to add the customer if it's a duplicate. In customer display, clicking any customer in your list should display its values in all 5 text boxes. And he says this is due next class. So this is going to be an assignment for you.